You're listening to Live and Local with Kevin Wall on AM 670 KMZQ. Talk radio done right.
Ain't no sound but the sound of speed. Machine guns ready to go.
It is Live and Local on this hump day, this Wednesday. Good to have you with us. Kevin Wall with you until 9 o'clock. I am so excited. Because guess who is here? Marla Letitia, a.k.a. Nanny Bubby. She is a regular on Instagram and Facebook, and she is our regular Wednesday guest. I always learn something when I'm with her. Marla, good morning, and thanks for being a part of the show today.
Oh, my gosh. I'm always happy to be here, and thank you so much for the lovely introduction, and I enjoy this time, too. I always get a little nervous about it. I'm always like, oh, my gosh. You know, I get like jitters, like walking out on the stage each time, but it seems to always work out okay, right? Just the adrenaline pump is good for everybody.
No, it's good for everybody. I'll bet you were a bit nervous at the Aging Wellness Expo because you spoke, and all my reports say you hit it out of the park.
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you very much. Well, I will tell you that I really want to give kudos to Wanda, who is the Review Journal executive, who actually was responsible for coordinating the entire Wellness Expo up at the Red Rock. And also Optum. It was hosted by the Review Journal, but it was sponsored by Optum. And the joint association between those two organizations brought out, I don't know, maybe 5,000 people to the event, which went from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. So it was really, really well attended. And nobody was more surprised than me. And it was really terrific.
Can you talk about the message? I know the title of the speech was a mindset to live to 100 years or more. What was the gist of what you were telling the group?
Well, you know, it's an interesting thing, but I will tell you that much of what we do has to do with our mindset. And the definition of mindset is a belief and mental attitude that determines how you interact and respond to your own life situations. By the way, I just did that by memory.
Way to go.
Yeah. I was like, wow, I got that out. And so, you know, there's three areas of our health that as we begin to age that we need to be very cognitive of and watch. And one is our physical health, which we monitor and manage with annual physicals with our doctor. The second is our cognitive health, which also has to do with your doctor, and there's places that your numbers with your blood and different things that will show you how your cognitive health is, you know, moving along. And the third is your emotional health. So your emotional health is truly the most complicated. And that deals with things like anger, resentment, depression, hopelessness, all of sort of those negative feelings, if you will, that come into your emotional health. And that is where you need a clinical psychologist. Well, you know, there is also one other little thing that is contained within that emotional health, and that is mindset. And so I'm not a clinical psychologist and I'm not a physician, but I am somebody who has lived several decades and had a tremendous amount of life experiences. And through that, I have a message and some wisdom that I wanted to share with the audience, and I asked their permission if they would like for me to share it, and a room full of people applauded, so I went forward and talked about it. So let me just add one thing, is that a life insurance salesman who comes to your house and interviews you about giving you and selling you life insurance will ask you one question. What is that very first question that the life insurance salesman asked? Do you remember? I don't know if we talked about this before or not.
I'm not sure we did.
Know what it is? Okay. All right. It was probably with the other boys, but so the very take a guess if you want to just take a guess.
How long do you expect to live?
There you go. I mean, you hit it on the nose. Good for you. That is that. Good
I pay
for
attention.
You.
I pay attention. You know.
Yes, I know you do. Well, it's funny because a lot of people will say, how much life insurance do you want? Or how's your health? But that question that you just threw in, Kevin, is just like, it's said with a smile, it's a throwaway, you don't really think it means anything, but it does, because 85% of everybody who comes up with that answer actually dies at that age. So that truly is a mindset. And what you want to do is to be able, and I looked at that audience and I said, so many of you, when I just told you this story, literally had a number in your head when I asked the question. And now you need to ask yourself, why is that number there? And is that number really serving you? Because you have an 85% chance of dying at that number. And I told a story of how I have a friend whose father said, I don't ever want to be 92. I do not want to live to 92. And remarkably, he died 6 days before his 92nd birthday. And then I have another friend who was, the Cubans are very family oriented and they really celebrate their elders. And when this young boy, who is now in his 50s, but when he was young and a family member passed away, he realized that nobody lives forever. So he went to his father and said, Poppy, I don't ever want to lose you. I don't ever want to lose you. I can't live without you. And Poppy would say, don't worry, I'm going to live till I'm 83. Don't worry, I'm going to live till I'm 83. And then sadly, when he was 83, he got up one morning and walked to the kitchen for his coffee, and boom. And my friend says, gee, if he had said, don't worry, I'm going to live till I'm 103, would he still be there? So we talked about mindset. We talked about the baby boomer generation and, how the baby boomer generation is actually known for social change. And this is where we imparted the thought that we as baby boomers, who the oldest of us is 77 years old, that we might be able to bring dignity and celebration and help to create and dispense of this anti-aging society that we live in. Because right now, as it stands, the Medicare commercials that are shown for open enrollment show an announcer, or you hear an announcer who is speaking down to the audience who is listening, number one. Number two, we see a group of actors that are supposed to be, quote unquote, seniors, and those people don't even look like the senior, that we are. They look like our grandparents' generation, not the generation who is currently available for open enrollment. And then worse than that, this is the worst part, and everybody in that room on Saturday applauded to this, is those actors who are supposed to be portraying our generation who are applying for Medicare and Medicare supplement. Those people, when they ask those questions, actually look like their IQ, and they sound like their IQ has lost 25 points from the time they were 45 to 65. It is the most demeaning thing. And we, our entire American society, actually judge ourselves very frequently by what is shown to us on the media and fed back to us. And I myself, upon watching those commercials, really started to think of myself as unintelligent. Maybe I was irrelevant. I mean, it was very painful for me when I first started to identify that I was that age. And I began to lose my self-confidence as a result of that. Truly, this is what happened. This is how the Long Life Era community got started. Well, I will tell you that nobody wants to grow old in this society because there's no honor in it. There's honor everywhere else in the world. In so many of the countries, even the third world countries, they honor, revere, and celebrate those that have longevity, but not so much here in America. So if you don't want to grow old, okay, but then nobody wants to die young, right? Everybody wants to live nobody wants to die young, and that leaves just the alternative is like, does anybody really want to have to look like a Kardashian in order to live in our society today? I don't think so. That got a big laugh, Kevin. Is that making you laugh? The
Yes.
Kardashian thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So what's the alternative? And the baby boomer generation is known for social change. So with the long life mindset, which we've changed the name from the pledge to the mindset, just to tell you, because the mindset is really what it is. It's setting a mindset. That's what those words are that I put together for people. And that the baby boomers who are known for social change have, which, by the way, they brought about the end of the Vietnam War. They stood side by side and helped to give energy and fire to the civil rights movement. We were the first women to actually go to college in big numbers and walk into jobs that were previously held by men. And fourth and most importantly, we, with our dimes, nickels, and quarters and a few dollars that we could scrape together when we were teenagers, helped bring about the British invasion, because it was our teenage dollars that were buying those records. So I presented the idea that as baby boomers, we still had one more social change revolution within us, and that is to bring about social change when it comes to aging and revering those with the wisdom that have so much to share with our younger population. And it was really well received. I felt so great about it. People were inspired, and honestly, that's what it was about for me. I mean, that's what all of this is about for me, is to help bring about a change in American culture as it relates to aging and living in our long life era, not just being a senior citizen, which basically means move out or get out of our way. You're irrelevant now. Nothing could be farther from the truth. So they can do that by going to longlifemindset.com. We changed the name of the URL, longlifemindset.com, and add your name and embrace the Long Life Mindset words that you'll find on that homepage when you go there, and then add your name to the list so we can show retailers and all of the influence in America just how powerful this baby boomer generation is.
Marla, always good to get with you. Thanks so much. You have a great rest of your week, and we'll talk again next Wednesday. How about it?
Yes, we will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
There you go, Marla Letitia, a.k.a. Nanny Bubby, the Long Life Era Community. We'll be talking more about that next Wednesday on this very radio program.